So today we are going to talk about the iPhone 17 series that will be released in September. One of the important things that will be talked about this year is that both the iPhone 17 base model and the iPhone 17 Air model will support 120Hz ProMotion display. The reason for this expectation is that the 120Hz display was first introduced with the iPhone 13 Pro model with LTPO OLED technology. It was only for the Pro series. However, according to the news coming out now, this 120Hz display is expected to be expanded to all models in the iPhone 17 series. That's why we expect the iPhone 17 base model and iPhone 17 Air to come with a 120Hz refresh rate display. Since it's an LTPO OLED, there was a general expectation that it would support 120Hz. However, there's no concrete news yet that it will support 120Hz. However, according to a report by 9to5Mac, Apple is saying that the iPhone 17 and iPhone 17 Air models will support a 120Hz refresh rate. However, the report says that there will be no refresh rate. That is, they say that there will be no refresh rate technology that automatically changes the refresh rate of the display, like there was in the Pro models. Many of us are confused about what a refresh rate display is. The motion display, introduced at WWDC in 2017, was first used on the second-generation iPad Pro. At that time, the motion display would change the refresh rate to 120Hz, 60Hz, 40Hz, 30Hz, 24Hz, and so on depending on the situation. For example, it would change to 120Hz when scrolling, 24Hz when watching a video, and 30Hz when standing still. The iPhone 13 Pro model, which was the first iPhone to have a motion display, supported a maximum of 120Hz and a minimum of 10Hz. This helped reduce battery consumption. The motion display used from the iPhone 14 Pro supports a minimum of 1Hz and a maximum of 120Hz. This is why it started supporting the always-on display feature. The news so far is that the iPhone 17 and iPhone 17 Air models will support a high refresh rate of up to 120Hz. However, it seems that Apple will not support variable refresh rates in the Pro line, as it is said to be a promotion. The important thing here is how Apple defines promotion. Since it supports 120Hz, we can expect a very smooth scrolling experience while playing games or browsing the web. However, since the promotion does not have a display, it is expected that the iPhone 17 and iPhone 17 Air models will not support always-on display. When Apple launches the iPhone 17 series, it will be important to define the standards for its promotion. Battery life is now an important marketing feature of the iPhone. The iPhone 17 Air model may already be a bit weak in terms of battery. Supporting only 120Hz seems to exacerbate its weakness. At the very least, I think the model used in the 2017 iPad Pro will support variable refresh rate. This news is incorrect, and if all iPhone 17 models support promotion, they will also support always-on display. However, if, as this news suggests, they do not support promotion, it seems that Apple will not give up this feature so soon. What do you think will happen if the iPhone 17 and 17 Air models support the promotion? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching.